Hey guys, it's Gideon. I wanted to create an early access guide for the marketplace for those of you that are new to the game. So I want to talk about what is the marketplace, and maybe for people who have played other MMO RPGs, how does that compare to like an auction house system? And then specifically, I want to go through how to buy things and then how to sell things, and then some of the tips for each of those activities. During the intro, there's just some travel footage, but I will show you all the specifics when we get to that point in the video. Really quickly, if you find this guide or any of my other guides helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like and comment if you'd like to interact as well. I always love having discussions, and I try to respond to absolutely everything. Also, if you're looking for a guild to play with and hop in and try Ashes of Creation, check out discord.gg/the Federation. So first I want to talk about what the marketplace in Ashes of Creation actually is. It works kind of like an auction house in a game like World of Warcraft, and if you haven't played any other games, it's a place where you can list items for sale and then you can buy items. But specifically, I want to talk about how it's different than games like that. When you travel to different settlements on the map that have a marketplace, it isn't a hub where you can just access everything throughout the world. The marketplace is contained within that settlement. So you can buy and sell things only in that settlement. So, for example, if you went to the settlement called Miraleth, or you went to the settlement called Jova, you would only be able to sell things to people who visit that marketplace or buy things that are listed at that particular marketplace. A couple other logistical things. You can buy items from a marketplace at any level, anytime you want when you're in a settlement, but to sell things on a marketplace, you need to be level 10. So once you're level 10, you're essentially setting up your own stand, if you will, but it's accessed through a common NPC. It's your store, it's your stand once you're level 10, and you can sell items to anyone who visits that settlement. So first, let's get into some tips on buying items that you're specifically looking for, or you maybe just want to explore and see what's for sale. And then second, we'll talk about tips for how to sell things and what is involved with that. There are timestamps, so skip ahead if you're just interested in one or the other. So let's say you want to buy something. You want an upgraded mount, you want some upgraded armor or a weapon, or maybe some materials for crafting. If you go to the marketplace and you talk to the vendor, you're presented with a list of all the stores or stands from all the players. The default search box, you could search for something like oak if you're looking for oak timber for crafting, or maybe you want to search for spellbook or mace or something like that, and you may find items that way. However, by default, you're searching the description of the stores or stands that people set up. It's player entered text that they enter in, and you're searching those keywords. If you click the box to search by item, that will actually search through all of the items in everyone's store. So if you search for oak, for example, you'll get a list of all the stores where at least one item has the word oak in it. And one thing that is kind of interesting is maybe you're searching for one thing, and as you're clicking and browsing through the different stores and looking at the different items, you might go, whoa, I wasn't even looking for that. That's really cool. I would advise you write that down and then go search for that. And now you'll see a listing of all the stores that have an item with that name for sale. So that's a good way to kind of discover things on your own. An often overlooked tool for searching by item is the drop down for rarity. So for example, if you pick uncommon, it'll limit the storefronts to things with that name that are uncommon. Now, you might think that this is really tedious, and that's fair feedback. That's something that if you're playing and you don't like it, you should definitely share that feedback. But right now, this is the current design, and it's designed to give you some tools to search, but you're still looking at individual stands. It's almost like you're just at one vendor, but it's giving you the experience of walking around a flea market or farmer's market or something like that and finding the items that you might be looking for. Once you actually find something and you know that you want to buy it because you've looked through all the store listings and you've found what you think to be the best price, which I highly recommend, spend some time doing that, then it works like any other vendor would in the game. You right click it to add it to your cart, and then you go ahead and purchase it, and it will immediately move to your inventory. Now, what about selling items? What if you want to make a bunch of money by selling all the wood that you harvested, or maybe you've been working on crafting and you want to sell your weapons? What you want to do is click on the Sell Items tab and then go ahead and click List Item. It's going to pull up your inventory and show you everything that you can sell, and you want to right click to select the item that you want to add to the shop. Then you're going to go ahead and click Next, and you're going to be presented with some options. If it's something that you have more than one of, there's a slider for quantity that you want to sell, and you can set the per unit price. If you only have one, it's just going to be the total cost, but then you'll see the estimated buyer price factoring in the tax rate in the town, and you'll also see a listing fee. And the more that you charge for the item, the higher that listing fee goes. So you might need to factor that in when you're deciding what to charge. One other tip, when you are deciding to sell something, you could first search for it as if you're going to buy it and look through the stores to try to come up with what you think is a reasonable price. Maybe you can wait a little bit, or maybe you need the money right away and you want to undercut. That's kind of up to you, but it's not built into the interface. You have to kind of go and sleuth that out yourself by design. So back to that list item screen, once you have all those options set and you're happy with it, you can go ahead and click Confirm Sale. And that will create your listing on the marketplace for your particular player store. Now you'll have the option to continue listing items, and you just keep following that pattern until you've listed everything that you want to sell. Right now you can have 20 listings active total at a time. The other thing that you can do is there's a little edit button next to your storefront. So for mine, it says Gideon's Storefront. When you click that edit button, you can enter text for your shop description. That is a good idea for people, especially when they're new and they just open the store and they start searching. Remember, that's going to search the shop or store descriptions, not items, unless they select search by item. So you might want to put, just simple terms in there like wood or mace, or different things that you're selling that you think people might search for. You can put that in there. It doesn't have to be some explanation of your shop, but it totally can be. So you can use that strategically as well to catch that kind of low-hanging fruit sale for someone who just pops in and tries searching right away. The final and probably most important thing about selling items is getting your profits, getting your money once the sales are complete. And what's cool about this is you can go to the mailbox in any settlement and claim your profits from any settlement where you have posted things for sale. That's kind of the one little exception to the marketplace per settlement, if that makes sense. So you could be in Miraleth and get your profits from Jova and vice versa. So you will see a notification in your mini map showing that you have new mail. So you want to find the mailbox in the settlement that you're in, or go to the closest settlement that has a mailbox. Go to the mailbox, open it up, and you'll see a piece of mail for each listing of yours that has sold. You can click on it and then you can claim the money. It shows up as an attachment, or you can just say select all and hit claim, and it'll just automatically pull the money out of all those mail messages and put it into your inventory. And then if you want, you can go ahead and delete those messages. Just know there is a UI bug right now where sometimes it shows that you have new mail. If you log out and log back in, go ahead and report that to help prioritize that, because that is really annoying, and you can be like, oh man, 5 more things sold. Oh no, actually it's just the UI bug. So hopefully that covers everything from explaining how the marketplace works, how it's different than an auction house and other games, tips for buying, how to sell, and tips for selling and claiming those profits. If you have other questions or you have other tips, share those in the comments and let's get the discussion going there. And until the next one, peace.